Police need community support. Communities need police to protect and serve. But mistrust on both sides can cause violence and trauma.
So my first experience with a police officer was when I was 4 years old. They were coming to my home to arrest my father. I was so terrified of the officer and the gun and the fact that they came in with so much force. I think this is something that's so common in communities that I come from. There's like this us versus them. It's kind of always there.
Us versus them was a reality in 34% Latino Newark, New Jersey. The Department of Justice found a pattern of unconstitutional policing.
You know that there are harmful things happening, but it doesn't feel like the solution is having officers around. It feels like it just exacerbates the harm. We need to see all of it change if we're going to actually have the trust that we ultimately want.
New York City leaders agreed to reform and change, including working with Equal Justice USA. Fatimah saw a chance to address the mental and emotional stress that law enforcement can have on the community and police officers.
Trauma impacts police officers too, and there's a very high suicide rate among officers. The stigma of mental health within departments has gotten so bad that people are fearful to talk about the real traumas they see day in and day out for years and years and years.
Fatimah and Equal Justice USA decided to start a trauma training program to help civilians and police unite to rebuild trust. To create a curriculum, Fatimah engaged community members, police, psychologists, social workers, and consultants like retired police captain Donna Hernandez.
I can help other law enforcement officers know that it's okay to be human. It's okay to cry. It's okay to take it home and think about it. What's not okay is to hold it inside and feel alone and then take it out on community, because community is not responsible for that.
And that's where this trauma to trust training emerged, an experience where people can come together and talk about these issues. And we found that talking about it through the lens of trauma opens up all those conversations.
Police, civilians, leaders, and health advocates meet several times over a month for a 4-hour discussion. They watch videos, work in teams, and have real discussions about tension and how trauma and violence impairs early childhood development and risky behaviors, especially among Latinos and other minorities. They identify ways to support traumatized people, create support systems, and adopt healthier practices.
This whole program just gives everybody a voice that people haven't had in a minute, because it makes people really connect and see. Because a lot of the things that we go through or like try to explain to people get swept under the rug, and because now that we're able to talk about it, it's a conversation. From there it grows, and then hopefully we get the solution that we need.
Por el hecho de que yo tuve mi propia experiencia y mi propia perspectiva que tenía antes con los oficiales de policía, haber venido al entrenamiento me hizo dar cuenta y decir, por esta razón es que a mí me trataron así, porque no sabían.
We look at the concept of bringing everyone together. It's therapeutic, it heals, and it also prevents further trauma and violence in some communities.
The training even helped an officer de-escalate an active shooter situation.
This officer who'd been through the training said, I thought about the trauma, I thought about what we were all kind of hyped up because someone had just gotten shot, and he's like, I calmed the team down and just used our tactical training, and they were able to remove an active shooter from the home without harming him. And who was in that home? A child, a young child, an elder.
Hundreds of police and civilians have been trained. Both groups are learning to recognize trauma and build trust. Newark police have seen a 50% reduction in civilian complaints.
People leave this training activated. They call their senators, they talk to other people. I get asked all the time, when's the next trauma training? When can I go and have this experience and think, in new ways? But it's a long game. We always say in the training, this is just the beginning. This is planting the seed. We are successful because people are going out and doing things, but we still want to think about how does culture change? How does the system itself change? And continue to beat the drum that we deserve safety and we deserve investments that actually make everyone safer.